Full moon in Hasta, 2nd of April 2026. So this is going to be dropping at 3:12 a.m. British Summer Time. Let's see what it means for the entire lunar transit until the next full moon. First off, if we have a general picture as to what to expect from this transit, it basically boils down to this. We are not only looking to expand our minds, we're looking to expand our minds in a way that lays a solid foundation for work, for building structure in our lives, for becoming organized in our lives. So collectively, we're going to have a sense of order that we don't ordinarily have under any other moon. There's going to be a sense of wanting to fit a cultural ideal of wherever it is that we come from or whatever it is that we represent. Okay. Now, with that moon in opposition to Revati Sun, there is a struggle when it comes to realizing our divinity, but not only realizing our divinity, but realizing our ambitions as well. Because Hasta wants us to realize our ambitions in traditional ways, whereas Revati Sun, in conjunction with Uttara Bhadrapada Saturn, does have the discipline. That conjunction does have the discipline. It does have the survival skills. It does have the towering self-respect. It does have the soft power, but it has it in the most unusual ways. Now, in the first place, the sun is in exile in Ashwini. Saturn is in exile in Swati. Both of those together reflect soft power. They reflect the power of its relational power that both Ashwini and Swati represent when placed together. It doesn't mean that Swati and Ashwini can't be dramatic, can't be stormy, but it does mean that the ways in which they make an impact is through people's minds and through people's psyches and even through people's emotions. It's not necessarily a physical thing. Now, with that moon in Hasta, we're going to want to build foundations from a very conventional perspective. But what we are actually being encouraged to do is to find our discipline and to find our intellect through self-expression. So we're looking for the answers as to how to fulfill our ambitions with the full moon in Hasta, with this perfectionist Virgo attitude of revealing the best parts of ourselves, or what we believe to be the best parts of ourselves, when Revati and Uttara Bhadrapada, Sun and Saturn are over here like, okay, you can have the discipline, you can have the drive, you can have the will, but you've got to go about it in a less conventional way, because Pisces is all about the less conventional. It's all about the integration of the shadow side and the nurturing of the inner child. That is what both Revati and Uttara Bhadrapada are about, because they're in Pisces. So we can have the survival skills. Sun and Saturn, we can have the survival skills. We can have the discipline. We can gain the respect. But the ways in which we do it is not going to be in the conventional method of hard work and hard study. It's going to be in self-expression, in positive thinking, in opening our minds and learning as much as we can and expressing ourselves as much as we can. That is how we are going to make the most of this full moon transit until the next full moon. That's how we're going to do it. Okay. Now, there's going to be a trine with Hasta to Shravana Pluto. Now, Shravana is still in the early degrees of Pluto. Shravana is still in the early degrees when it comes to Pluto, right? Or rather, Pluto is still in the early degrees of Shravana. So Hasta and Shravana together, not necessarily going to be that problematic, but some deep-seated emotions will reveal themselves. And I feel like the more we repress ourselves and the more we try to emotionally maintain and communicate through working and through grafting and through studying, the more we try to express ourselves that way, is the more our hidden emotions and our hidden depths are going to come out. That's what I see here. Okay. So we've got that, and then we've got the moon and sun squared Purnavasu Jupi. Okay. And we've also got a square to Purva Ashada ascendant. Now, what this means is that our emotions and our reason, we might have some overconfidence with regards to how we feel and how we think. We may overgive. Okay. Again, it comes back to that grafting mentality and that like needing to study, cram up information. That grafting mentality might get us messed up because we might end up overcommitting and overpromising. Okay. And then on top of that, we've got the Purva Ashada square. Um, this is the thing. Purva Ashada and Hasta are squared, but they both want purity. They both want assimilation. Only with Hasta, Hasta wants assimilation with the body and with the material realm. Purva Ashara wants assimilation with the soul. It wants assimilation with the soul and with the astral realm and with its own magic. So where the conflict is that is in what type of perfection we achieve. Do we achieve the perfection of what we do, or we achieve the perfection of the influences that we take in? Because our minds are not going to be at rest with Hasta, and with Purva Ashada Lagna, we're going to actually be more susceptible. We're going to be more sensitive physically and emotionally because of that Purva Ashada ascendant and because of that Hasta moon. Not only are our minds not going to be at rest, but they're actually going to be more sensitive than usual. Now, this can be good news for manifestation work or any work that you've manifested up to this point, but it can be bad news in terms of gaining a grip on your emotions, which is why, in order to combat that, you need to let your shadow side reveal itself through expression and through open-mindedness, and to also approach these things from a more positive and open-minded sense of who we are and what we do. We need to be more open-minded to our shadow selves. We need to be more unconditionally understanding of who we are as people. Now, this is where it gets especially interesting because we've got Mercury conjunct. Oh, we've got Mercury conjunct Mars in Purva Bhadrapada Aquarius. This is some heavy shit, because with this Mercury and Mars conjunct, what we end up with is people collectively being real go hard or go home with their beliefs. It's not going to be a case of people just talking about their beliefs and not acting on their beliefs. No, a lot of people collectively, if they truly believe something, they're not just going to talk about it, they're going to act on it. That's also another Hasta quality. Hasta has to do what it sets out to do. So when it comes to our beliefs, what we believe in, what we are willing to fight for, we will not only put our mouths in a particular place. We will not only put our mouths in our beliefs, we will put our money where our mouths are. We will vote with our feet. And we've already seen massive movements across this country when it comes to anti-racism. This is just the beginning. There's going to be a lot more of people expressing themselves through their belief systems as well. That's part of the structure. That's part of, the need to graft and the need to work hard. Our beliefs come into it. That is what's fueling our need to work hard, right? Sorry, I don't know what's going on upstairs. You heard that, right? You heard the banging. Okay, let's continue. So we've got the trine with Punava Sujupi and Vishaka Midheaven, okay? So what we've got is, I've got a few minutes anyway. I've got a few minutes. So we've got a trine to Jupi and Vishaka Midheaven. So our ability to influence one another collectively is going to be sky high right now. Our ability to influence one another is going to have us be able to realize our ambitions anyway. This is why we don't need to press things. We don't need to push too hard. Okay? So, I don't know. My neighbors are doing some extra shit. So I'm just gonna end on this note, okay? So Mercury sextiling ascendant leaves us with this. Purva Bhadrapada and Purva Ashada. Again, everything that we do and the people that we hang around, who we allow ourselves to be influenced by, is going to color how we act on our beliefs. It's going to color the things that we do. So we must make sure to engage in appropriate relationships. And also we must make sure to have our minds remain open and to remain positive and to remain focused on expressing who we are and what we do in this world. Now I'm going to go. Okay. So Empress Justice out. I hope you enjoyed this reading and I will see you for the 12 signs. Don't know when though, but I will see you then. Take care. Bye bye, my darlings.